What's up, everybody? Today, we're gonna take a look at the FlyBird adjustable bench that I'm sitting on right now and how it is one of the worst benches I've ever used. Right now on Amazon, this thing has like 20,000 reviews and is rated like 4.5 stars. I honestly don't know how it gets 4.5 stars. I get that this is only about $165, where some of the other brands you can see it, in an adjustable bench go up to like $500. But still, I feel like in this case, you really do get what you paid for. So even though this is like sub $200, I still don't think it's worth it. I'm gonna show you why this is one of the worst benches I've ever used. So before we go over the worst part about this bench, I think we should discuss some of the actual pros of this bench. I would say in terms of comfort, this is actually pretty good. It has a little rest pad that you can use to hook your feet under. So if you're doing any kind of decline work, whether it's a decline press or decline crunches, you can secure your feet so you don't slide off the bench. Another cool feature about this is it's foldable, so you can actually fold it up and easily store it. Lastly, this bench is actually pretty long. So you can tell in comparison to my Red Fitness bench, this is like a standard length in height for a bench that is actually quite a bit longer. I would say it probably has like at least 3 inches on it. So if you're a tall individual and you're doing something where you want to have your feet on top while you're lying on it, you should fit it just fine. All right, so with the pros out of the way, let's take a look at the cons of this bench. One of the main reasons why anybody would buy an adjustable bench is so they could do a variety of different exercises with just one tool, ranging from like a bench press to an incline press to a decline sit-up, whichever it is that you want to do, that you're able to do with a bench. Well, one of the first things you'll notice is this is my standard bench. Notice how much higher, right? How much taller this is. So whenever you're doing a press, depending on your height, your feet may not comfortably be flat on the ground, which means that it could affect your stability, which means that it can affect how much weight you can press. If you're gonna do an incline press, your feet will most likely not touch the ground. You have to use the little foam support here to place your feet on. Other than if you're 6'8" or something, you may be able to comfortably rest your feet on the floor when this is in an incline position. In addition to this bench being really tall, really high off the ground, I think this is probably like 20 or 21 inches off the ground, which is pretty high. In addition to that, this seat is huge. I mean, look at it. I mean, I'm putting 2 hands on it and look how much space there is, right? I mean, if you are a larger than average individual, this may be, right for you. But for me, I'm about 5'9", I weigh about 145 pounds. This is huge. Because the seat width is so wide that when you're doing something like an incline chest press, if you want your feet to touch the floor, then you have to straddle the sides of the bench. And it can be really uncomfortable, where it may make you feel like you're not secure, right? Your foundation is not secure, so which is gonna affect how much weight or how confident you are when you're pressing whichever weight you're pressing at. All right, the next thing I wanna talk about is this foam pad. This foam pad is pretty good itself. However, what's really bad about this design is there's no pin. There's no pin on the bar that it sits on to hook it in. So this thing would just easily slide off. Well, why does that matter? Well, sometimes when you do exercises, you'll move. And when you move, you need a pin on the side to kind of secure this in place. You don't want to do something and it just kind of pops out on you, So, and that's a really cheap solution, I think. Just to add a little pin in there so this doesn't move in and out. Easy fix. The next thing I want to talk about is the feet of this bench. If you take a look, the feet itself is round, which means that this thing can move, especially if you apply pressure. This thing can slide forward and back, which if you're doing something heavy, you definitely don't want that. You want to feel secure. You want to make sure that your bench is in place. Not only is this round, which is a horrible design, it needs to be flat. This thing could easily pop off. I mean, look how easy that was. Just like that. So if you're moving the bench from exercise to exercise, literally it can just pop off. In addition to that, the feet, if you take a look, it's actually not even across. Right, so it's a little bit thinner on one side and thicker on the other side. So sometimes you could be a little off. That alone, I feel like makes this bench worthless, right? Because any tool, especially a bench, whenever you're doing some sort of exercise on it, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, that this bench is going to support you and not slide forward or back or have the feet pop off accidentally, whatever it is that you may be doing. Next, let's go over the workmanship of this bench and why it was really cheaply done. I don't know if you can see from right there, but there's already a staple coming out of this bench as we speak. I've already found 2 staples. This already came out. I don't know how, I don't know from where, but yeah, I just found it laying on the floor. In addition to that, you can see at the end of this, I don't know what this is for, there's a little pin tack that secures the end. It's already fallen off on the other side. I don't know when, I don't know where. Yeah, it's gone. So I can only imagine that with time, all the staples around this bench may fall off. And with that goes the bench.